everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm so grateful. In today's video, I wanted to talk about reverse engineering and how you can actually use your past experiences, especially the past experiences that you call out as negative, to create the kind of reality you're seeking. So, what does reverse engineering mean in simple steps? Basically, we'll take an example of a circumstance or an event or incident that took place, or even a conversation. What led up to it? It's basically going back in time and trying to understand what led up to this final output, this final result, everything that happened from the beginning till the end. Now, how can this be helpful for you in creating a desired reality? So we have to get back to the basics for that. Let's discuss that for a minute. Manifestation is your internal world reflecting outside. Your internal world consists of your belief system, okay, that produces your thoughts accordingly, that produces your emotions accordingly, and that shows up in your actions and behaviors. So everything that is dominant here reflects outside. That is how people, places, and situations show up for you. Now, because you're manifesting all the time, you have manifested all the good things in your life as well as all the unpleasant or negative experiences in your life. And yes, I understand that in the beginning, trying to comprehend this and trying to take responsibility for your 3D is a little difficult. I have explained this in detail in one of the previous videos, which I'll link up here. You can check that out to understand how you can bring yourself in a position to actually start taking responsibility of what you're creating in your 3D. Now, pick up any kind of negative experience you have had in the past, which is still fresh in your mind, and you actually do remember the things that happened before that final breakdown took place. The most relatable and easy example to take up to explain reverse engineering would be a relationship. Now, in case you have broken up recently, or in case your relationship is not really going well, it's a bit rocky, try to reverse engineer to the time, to the point where things started going haywire. It could be that it started with a really small argument and then it led up to, after a few days or after a few weeks, difference in opinions about little things, small things around your environment. It could be basically anything, right? Now, if you feed into those things, if you give emotional reactions and take them really personally and take them to your head where you're replaying them again and again and again, and you're stuck in that, you're stuck in that story where you're not able to let go of that specific conversation, argument, or difference in opinion. And that will gradually start creating more of it, more difference with each other, more irritation with each other, more frustration with each other. And this does not happen overnight. It starts piling up, right? And then it gives birth to resentment, grudges, holding on to old stories and negative stories. And when these kind of circumstances initially start in a relationship, that's where your beliefs about self, beliefs about that person, and in general, love and relationship play a huge role. For example, if you were able to successfully manifest a relationship, okay, and your self concept in love is not that great. Maybe your relationships in the past have not been that great or holistic, and you have fears around being left, rejected, abandoned. Now, that self concept will start coming up because it's looking for an opportunity to come up. If that is something you have not really gotten rid of or worked on how to deal with these kind of feelings when that self concept arises, it will look for an opportunity, and that opportunity comes in form of these small arguments, these small difference in opinions. And when that unpleasant situation finally unfolds itself, your self concept, which is not really great around love and relationship, starts coming up and getting merged with that situation. Now, your fears around being left and abandoned will start arising, and your mind will start creating stories such as, now we are having arguments about really small things, really petty things, and I fear he's going to leave me or she's going to leave me. I'm scared that he or she would be getting fed up with me. I'm scared that he or she is getting really irritated with these small arguments. What if they leave me? And this, once this negative thought makes a place in your mind, and you give it permission to stay, and you're playing those thoughts within you hour after hour, day after day, you are getting stuck in this cycle where your attention dominantly is going on unpleasant thoughts, which are going to reflect outside, create more indifference, because you're getting that evidence from 3D. You're seeing it happening in your 3D. It's affecting you. You're giving emotional reaction. You're again going into those thoughts in a more higher level. And then again, it's reflecting outside. So whenever you see a situation that has finally it's like a breakdown, it's like that final straw. It's because small things started happening early on, that you gave permission to stay in your awareness, and that you gave permission to stay in your mind, and you were replaying it, or you were trying to create scenarios of what if this happens, what if that happens, what will I do? So that is exactly how a past negative experience can help you. When you see a negative experience or circumstance showing up in your reality, first thing is you need to let yourself know how powerful you are. Because if I'm so powerful that my negative beliefs or stories, whatever I was, dominantly feeling and thinking about, showed up outside. Okay, even if it's negative, if I'm so powerful, if my creation is so powerful that I can create something so unpleasant that I do not wish to experience, like I do not want this. But in manifestation, you do not get what you want, you get what you are. So if you're replaying those negative, unpleasant conversations, incidents, you're holding on to things, they will reflect outside. So just imagine if you're that powerful, if your inner world is so powerful that when you are trying to saturate yourself, knowingly or unknowingly, you were saturating yourself with those negative scenarios, experiences, past conversations. If you're so powerful to have that created in your reality, you are equally and more powerful to have a desired reality show up for you. So just pick up a negative experience and reverse engineer. You will understand the whole manifestation process. Manifestation process is basically choosing your desire, knowing it's yours, declaring it's yours, then getting into techniques or that knowing or in that God state where you know that this is going to come to you, and it's going to come really in the most beautiful, natural way and effortlessly. And then just being in that pleasant expectation of receiving it. That's exactly what you do when you're creating negative experiences. It always starts somewhere early on. You had a fight, now you're not able to let go of that fight from your mind. You are replaying it again and again. You're trying to, pinpoint things that happened, why they happened. Just by saying this, you can understand where my dominant attention and focus is. And if that one argument turns into two or three or four arguments because you're seeing it happening in a 3D reality, it's giving you evidence that this is taking place. You're taking it more personal, you're giving emotional reaction, you're again in your head about all those things, you're getting scared, you're getting fearful that you would be left or this relationship will turn bitter. What are you doing when you're doing techniques? You are supposed to saturate yourself in that end result. Now, even in a negative experience, if you're saturating yourself with fights and arguments because you're playing that in your mind, even if you don't want it, you're doing it, right? That's what happens. It's easy to get negative experiences and just have them stuck in our mind and, play them on a loop. So you're making that your end result. You're making that your end result by being in that knowing, keeping it in your awareness, keeping it alive in your mind, and that is what you're reflecting more of outside. So the way desired reality shows up is exactly the same way a negative reality, a negative experience, or physical reality shows up for you. The manifestation process does not change. It's always going to be choosing a desire, playing it within you, knowing yes, you create your reality, having it show up, moving on to the next desire. And that's exactly what you do in negative situations also, because you're not able to let go of things and you keep playing them within you, experiencing it again. And then your inner world is just filled with those negative stories. So you're creating more of it. That's what you're creating your belief system around. So if you ever want to understand by yourself how to flip a situation, any situation, it could be at work, it could be in a relationship, it could be in a friendship. If you want to flip it, just reverse engineer. What did you do exactly? How were you thinking, talking to yourself, feeling? What were you playing within you? Where was your dominant attention and energy before this breakdown took place? Go back in time, try to understand. Now replace that with favorable thoughts, favorable beliefs, favorable emotions, favorable discipline. And it's going to unfold in the same exact way. Just this time, it's going to be a pleasant, desired reality. So, that is how you can use all your negative experiences, your negative circumstances to understand how you can exactly create the opposite of it, how you can create a desired reality that is desirable, favorable, pleasant to experience. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and it adds some value to your manifestation process. In case you're looking for more content around self development, I have linked my second channel below. Not really from a manifestation perspective, but in general. So if that interests you, you can subscribe to that channel. And if you are looking for a regular dose of motivation, I also have my Instagram linked below. Whatever I discuss in this videos, terms, concept, processes, everything is uploaded there in the written format. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a great week.